What became known as the Christmas tree ship sailed its last voyage in 1912, and still to this day, no one truly knows what happened.
She became a mystery for a number of years. Christmas trees began floating up onto the beaches of Rawley Point, in the 20s and 30s.
The Rouse Simmons, also known as the Christmas tree ship, disappeared one cold November day.
The Rouse Simmons is a shipwreck, and it's located on the bottom of Lake Michigan off of Rawley Point, just north of Two Rivers in Wisconsin. It's in about 160 feet of water.
Herman Schudeman, partial owner of the ship, would deliver Christmas trees from Michigan's Upper Peninsula all the way down to Chicago.
He was so invested in Christmas trees that he took on the moniker of Captain Santa, and he brought, it was said that Christmas really didn't come to Chicago until the Christmas tree vessels came into port.
On what would become his last voyage, Tamara Thompson, a maritime archaeologist, says they took one of their largest loads of trees.
She was said to have piled them so high on her deck, almost 8 feet on her deck.
But one fateful day, the Christmas tree ship would take her last voyage across the lake.
So they departed Thompson, Michigan, and there wasn't the weather service that we have today to predict the weather. So they could tell that the temperature was dropping, and they decided to hug the coast of the Door Peninsula on their way down to stay in the lee of the gale that was ahead of them. So it had not been blowing up to a gale yet. It was still blowing just a fresh wind, but to stay in the protection of the shoreline. So they hugged the coast, and they rode about 5 miles off. And when they got to Kewanee, Wisconsin, and they were about 5 miles offshore, they were spotted by the Kewanee Life-Saving Station. Also on their mainmast had been flying an ensign, an American flag upside down, which was a sign of distress.
So the Kewanee Life-Saving Station called down to the Two Rivers Station to send for help. But after they searched for 2 hours, the ship was nowhere in sight. It just disappeared.
In the 1930s, also one of the fishermen off Two Rivers area pulled up Captain Schuneman's wallet in one of his nets. So they knew that the ship was there, but there was no evidence of where exactly it was. It was sort of a ghost ship.
The ship wasn't discovered until almost 60 years later.
It was located in the 1970s by Kent Bell Richard and a number of other shipwreck hunters. They had been searching for it after a number of Christmas trees for years and years had washed up on the beaches of Rawley Point.
Captain Santa and his crew's tradition is still carried on today. One group even using it as a way to give back.
So back before Thanksgiving, we had a couple of trucks delivered trees that were acquired by the Christmas Tree Ship Committee and delivered from Dutchman Tree Farms, which I believe is in Michigan somewhere. And 2 trucks come in, and we unloaded 1,200 Christmas trees from the trucks onto the back of the ship.
Coast Guard's Lieutenant Junior Grade Patrick Buell says the Christmas Tree Ship Committee donates Christmas trees to inner-city families in Chicago.
And, it's a really cool opportunity for us here on Mackinac to get to do it, both because who doesn't want to give a Christmas to some folks who otherwise wouldn't have a tree? That's something that I think we all can get behind, and is an awesome thing. Maybe especially in a year like this, with everything that's been going on with the COVID-19.
The Coast Guard has helped deliver trees for 21 years now, and for Buell's crew, it's a great opportunity to interact with the public.
That direct interaction with the public for a ship like the Mackinac, raise awareness for icebreakers, try to get the word spread about how useful these ships can be, and also just to interact with the public and show them that, no, this is your Coast Guard. We work buoys on the way down here. We're not just delivering trees, but we're happy to we're happy to drop some off.
While the Coast Guard has one of the largest shipments, it's not the only one carrying Christmas trees across the lake.
It is pretty neat that this continues on today, and it's not only the Coast Guard; it's just a number of other communities and benevolent organizations that do provide Christmas trees to various cities around the lake. And then it also kicks off. It's known to kick off the festivities of the holidays.
A story of tragedy and loss has now turned into a tradition of spreading Christmas cheer and a way to remember those lost in the Rouse Simmons shipwreck. People still to this day will scuba dive down to see the Rouse Simmons, and they say you can still see some Christmas trees in a hole of the ship. And for this Christmas Tree Ship Committee, their mission is fully funded by donations. If you would like to give to their mission, I've posted a link of how you can donate on abc57.com.